Everybody, it's Ren. This is a kind of early edition of the vlog. I have here a special guest. This is Kerry Thiel.
Yeah.
Kerry Thiel. She worked on Lord of the Rings, which is my favorite set of movies ever. She was one of the movement coaches involved with getting people to either walk like an elf or walk like a orc or something like that. Different races for different bodies, or different movements for different bodies and stuff. How did you get involved in that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I guess I started when I was doing my acting degree up in Canada, University of Alberta. Part of our course load was to do stage combat, so I got involved more in the stage combat side of things. And that was really part of the work that we originally did on Rings, was to design particularly fighting styles, but also that, of course, included a whole movement style for all the characters that were seen in battle. So yeah, that was the process, and you bring everything to the table from all of your experience. I'd done a lot of dance and other movement styles previously, so you draw from all of it. Cultural influences, the weapons themselves influence what we were doing with them, armor, all those things. Yeah,
cool. What other experiences have you been a part of so far?
Heaps.
All of them. She's done all the things, so there's that.
Anyway, but here we are.
Yay!
At the Worlds.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome.
Yeah,
I
saw you just like out of the corner of my eye when everybody was watching the other classes. I think yesterday was an observation day, right?
Yeah. I just came to observe. Yeah. Always more to learn.
I wasn't entirely sure it was you. It was just like, the hair looks familiar, but I don't know. I'm not sure about the. It has been about 4 or 5 years. I was lucky enough to be able to take her class when you had it at Cheesesteak. And it was very interesting understanding the very just different dynamics of like.
Did we do animal transformation then?
Yeah. And then even I remember hearing from like the commentary the story of like, for instance, Orlando Bloom had like screwed up his back, so it was a very different kind of training because it was almost therapy for him, right?
Well, he did a lot of Pilates and so forth to sort of realign the spine and so forth. But he worked very, very hard to get the physicality that he required as an elf. So
yeah. What do you think people should take away from this conference?
This conference, all of this training, it gives you skills, but I think more than anything, it builds your confidence, right? And I think it's important to walk away from something like this and be honest about what you know you're good at, and then what you still have to work on, or but more than anything, these kinds of things build confidence and allow you to I think put yourself out there a little bit more and say, hey, I can do this. And but as moving forward, I just tell people to be honest about what they can and can't do. As a director, when I'm looking at people, especially for motion capture, it's very rigorous work, and if you tell me you can do something, I'm going to expect that you could do it. So, but that's what these conferences do, right? They build those skills, and more than anything, it builds a community. And people that I've over the years met at these conferences are still some of my best friends in the world. So that's the fun part.
Yeah, we're having a lot of like camaraderie. We're a very close-knit group right about now. There's 23 of us in the advance, and one of the things that my buddy in my class, MC, had pointed out was that I didn't even notice it until she said something. There's an even split of men and women in our class. Like there's 11 women and 12 men. And it's very like wonderful to see not only like such a strong like female energy coming from the class, but like a strong collective body. And I mean, that was just something I wanted to point out too.
It's something I've noticed over the years too. When I first started, there was a handful of women, and I won't say how long ago that was, but over the last
2 years ago. No,
we do the Patty Crane conference every second year in Banff, and that's a big world workshop conference as well. And over the last few years, I've noticed inequality, and even the last one, I think there was more women than men. So yeah, times are changing, and so's the industry, right? So we have to just keep current and keep feeding our passions. Yeah. Well, so I mean, I just want to say to whoever's watching, thank you for funding her, because this is an important. This is important, and this is how we move forward and create careers. So.
Thank you so much for taking time out to do this interview.
My pleasure.
You're basically one of my heroes right now. Tomorrow is a day off, so it might just be a personal vlog, whatever it's called. But thank you again for tuning in. Peace. Thanks again.